Hi everyone. I'm filming this on the second day of the store being open. Firstly, if this is the first time I'm showing it, yeah, I'm missing a tooth. I can thank my French bulldog for that. He was playing, got a bit boisterous, and gave me a swift headbutt, which cracked my tooth in half. That was a little over a month ago, and purely because of all this store stuff and still doing sculpting and commissions, I've just not had time to get it sorted, but hopefully at some point in the near future, but can't promise anything. Anyway, with that aside, the store's been open for a day now. I remember saying a few videos back that I might record some of the making of and all that type of stuff. I recorded a tiny bit, but stuff moved so fast and I found myself just being absorbed into the world of like trade, distribution, merchandising and all that type of stuff. It's just been a bit of a nightmare to try and film. So the store opened yesterday and, considering our location, the weather was terrible. We got, I think it was 6 customers, which to me is really good. Trying to be full transparent. A few of them purchased something, which I'm immensely grateful for. And today is the second day, and the weather, I believe, is no better. I've done very little advertising as of yet. I need to, find out more groups and socials and stuff like that to get going on. What I'll do now is I'll just quickly take you around and show you what it's all about. So I'll do this as one continuous recording, and there might be a few cuts if there's some garbage in. So here we go. What I'll do is I'll take us outside. So this is inside Hatter's Row Arcade. So there's a few shops on the bottom floor and it goes upstairs and there's more upstairs. And then there's a cafe, I believe, opening in the top corner there, and they're going to put some tables out on the veranda upstairs. So that's us for now. I'm going to get banners for the top, maybe some for here, and one for up here. So it's dead early in the morning at the moment, so, he says I'm open. I'm technically not open yet. We open in about an hour. This will be dead until then. I'm just in early because I like to just get settled. So, yep. For now, those are our opening times. Unfortunately, the arcade's closed on Sundays and bank holidays, so, we've got to abide by that. And during the week, apart from Thursday, there's a hard close at 6, so we need to be vacated by 6, hence the 5:30. Otherwise, I'd be open till 11 PM if I could every night. But we go in, and this is it. I'll go from left to right. So first of all, on the left, I've got a display case, beat off some of my pile of shame. Some of it's been primed, some painted. I'm just going to paint through that as and when. We have our little painting station for 2 people. We have a compressor, we have an airbrush, and then, a selection of paints which some are bought from home, a few we've had from a distributor which came as part of a large order, and people can sit, paint. Bought this new Lumi light from the Daylight Company. It's a really good light. Very surprised with how good it is actually. So I think I might be stocking this at some point. Yeah, we have a vortex mixer, and like I say, everything you need to just sit and paint for a good few hours. We have some Combat Patrol magazines there. Then we have our larger Epics'N'Stuffs models. So we've got some Fire Quest 1, 2 totals. This section here is just a mix of like humans, elves, the Epics'N'Stuffs stuff we did, Owlkin, Tree Spirits, a bit of everything. Some mystery bags along the bottom, as you can see, all some signage. And then moving over to the left, we've got some Age of Sigmar, Warhammer 40k, more 40k, some dice, more Combat Patrol, and more 40k. Now you can see the big gaping hole there. GW have been a bit slow on getting the trade account and everything set up. So I'm promised this by the end of the week. Whether or not that actually happens, I'm going to get one of those GW shelf units with a lot of their stock in. Some paints, it's basically their foundation range, some paints and a selection of miniatures. And then I think the next thing I'm going to buy from them is, as well as restocking stuff and buying new stock, is going to be the Citadel paint rack. One step at a time, then moving around. We've got some anime figures. So we've sold anime figures in the past, and this is just some of the stock that we've brought from home just to help fill it up for the time being. Got some bases along the top. I might re-merchandise this today. I'll see how I feel. Some clearance stuff, so some old games, an old codex, an old rulebook, sorry. 9th edition, some clearance paints. I'll turn around. We've got this aisle in the middle, so two-sided. We've got some more Epics'N'Stuffs, the medium and small size models. Got some Epic Encounters, Local Legends. Fallout Wasteland Warfare, which I'm probably going to buy some Fallout faction stuff. Got some more SFG stuff in Animal Adventures. The starter set, the doggies, the cats and stuff, very fun. Anyway, like I said, some Epics'N'Stuffs miniatures. On the other side, we've got WizKids, Nolzors, and each one of these is unique, so like different miniatures all the way through the back. So there's quite a chunk there. And then we've got some D&D Pathfinder books. We obviously need to stock, like, you know, we're not full to the brim. Again, we have actually ordered more stuff. We've ordered some War Machine, more Warhammer, a bit of Kill Team. It's just not arrived yet. We're probably thinking the Warhammer stuff, hopefully, end of this week. And middle of June is the War Machine, that jazz. Go back this way, swing. Here we go. And then we have another cabinet with some of the painted stuff I've done in. Some of the larger models, which we're going to be, I mean, these are all for sale, but I'll be bringing some of the larger stuff boxed in store. I just need to work out what type of design I want for the boxes. Then this side is like going to be like painting and hobby tools. We have the full Fanatics rack, as you can see. Some awesome stuff in there. The tools and accessories rack as well. The Speed Paint 2.0 rack. Got some more stuff down there. Mega set, the larger wet palette. Up above, painting station, Speed Paint metallics, the blanch sets. Over here, we've got Colourforge primers, some Dungeons and Dragons Army Painter sets. They're really cool sets, them. I do rate them. A selection of, it's pretty much the entire game colour range, plus some ancillaries. If anybody knows who actually distributes the rack for this, or who I need to contact, let me know in the comments below. I'm finding it hard to locate where to actually get that from. I'm not sure if I need to get it from Creative Models UK or go direct to Vallejo. I'm going to have to reach out soon, but if there's another distributor, then let me know. Some more Colourforge stuff, their basic materials, the glues, more Vallejo sets along the top here. And we have Scale 75 Fantasy and Games, which we've used quite a few of. To the left, some more tools, some more Redgrass Games stuff arrived yesterday. So the sponges, paint handle, the bits, the Painter 2 XL, and the Painter Light as well, and some of the refills. We have some brush cases and that jazz up there, and brushes. And that is a quick tour of the store. So, you know, yep, very, you know, it's small. It's only 211 square feet, I think, is the number. So it's small, very humble. But, you know, we've got these acrylic shelves that are just one deep at the moment. We can, you know, get some metal shelves and stack stuff. We've got that display unit coming from GW. I'm speaking to some airbrush distributors to potentially stock some airbrush stuff behind the counter. Oh, well, that's one thing I've not shown you yet, is the counter. I say the counter. You know, we have our iPad, which does all our till stuff. And I can do some sculpting jazz back here as well. There's a little card machine, all very professional. But yeah, like I say, very small, humble beginnings type of thing. And we'll just see where it goes from there. We're still selling stuff online, of course. I'm still doing the Patreon work. I'm working on some stuff now for a new Kickstarter campaign. And essentially, the Patreon, the My Mini Factory, the Kickstarter, as well as, you know, paying my rent, they're also obviously going to provide money for additional stock in future. You know, I do want to get some Monument Hobby stuff. I want to get more miniature-based games. I don't know what yet. You know, in my head, I'm thinking Fallout Factions, potentially some Middle Earth, Moonstone maybe. You know, fun miniatures that you know, people will want to paint. So they'll come and buy the paints, the miniatures, and everything around it. And maybe even come and partake in the painting space. So yeah, I'm going to spend most of my waking life in here now, 6 days a week. But I'll be, you know, chipping away sculpting. I'll be building some models and painting, basically doing what I would do as a hobby in store, being able to facilitate questions or speak to people and just get to know the community a bit more, right? So yeah, that's it. What are your thoughts? I'd love to hear people's thoughts in the comments below. And is there anything you advise or think I should look out for, or anything you think I should maybe stock? Room is limited, but I've got more space to grow on the walls with shelves. And if, you know, worse comes to worse, if the painting table doesn't get much action, I can maybe yeet that if I want the space. But I don't think I'll do that anytime soon, because I kind of like sitting there doing the painting anyway. So yeah, we can grow, and if in a year's time, you know, I'm massively outgrowing the shop or it doesn't work out, the great thing about my lease is it has like no penalty, like get out clauses at 1, 2, and 3 years. And it's the same with all like my utilities and stuff like that. So good thing is within a year, if I decide it's not for me or we want somewhere bigger, then we can maybe do that, just depending on how well it goes. Hope this is framing me okay. Yeah, day number 3, at the start of day 3. We open in about 45 minutes. So how did yesterday go? Well, surprise to me, it went better than day 1. You know, if every day was like yesterday, then I'd probably have no worries with regards to the stability of this little venture. So yeah, we made double the revenue of day 1. The weather did help. Inversely, the weather is absolutely terrible today. And now that, like, you know, we've had our first 2 days open, I wouldn't be surprised if nobody comes in, type of thing. But yesterday was positive for all intents and purposes, so that was good. You know, that's from the store POV. Trying to get in contact with GW again. You know, the conversations with them so far have been really positive. You know, they sent me one of those really neat samples pack where you get like an introductory set. I think you get like the Stormcast Eternals paint kit, and I got what else did I get? Redemptive Dreadnought, really cool, and a lot of like their catalogues with point of sale and ranges in, which was awesome. I you know, submitted an order a couple of weeks back. The last thing I needed to get them was every single page of my contract. I did that last week, and you know, it's been a bank holiday weekend, but I've heard nothing over the last 2 to 3 days. So I was like, you know, a bit anxious, and I still am, because, you know, at the end of the day, one of the temples of this little adventure was to get GW stock, and even without GW or Games Workshop Trade Direct, I can still get stock, but, you know, it might hinder, like, you know, my pre-orders, the new stock. and it definitely does hinder how much profit can be made on it, because I don't get it for the GW trade price. I still get it for less than retail, but the margins are smaller. Anyway, so I emailed yesterday, and then my emails were getting bounced back saying like the address no longer exists. So I'm like, I've had that before where the inbox is full, and I've had it before where the person's left or been made redundant, and that account's been essentially like mothballed or archived. So, I hope that's not the case. I hope my account manager, who I was building a rapport with, is still there, and it's just a case of inbox is full. But like through my head, I'm going like, have they blocked me? Which could be the case. Like, I really don't know why they would. We were literally at the moment where I've submitted everything. He was like, yeah, the account should go through. Well, I'll get back to you within a couple of days. And by the end of this week, I should have been receiving my first order, which was like one of their ranges plus an additional chunk of stock. And then from there, I was going to get their paint rack, probably in my next order. But, if for some reason I can't open an account with them, or, that puts a bit of a spanner in the works. Like I say, there's alternatives. I'll probably end up spending more money on different miniature games. Still getting GW stock, but then I'll probably have to invest in like another third-party paint range, and it's just then deciding how much I want to spend on that, and who I would want to ultimately go for. I might have to do like a poll or a survey. I've done one. I've got pretty mixed results on the type of thing, so I might have to do another to make it a bit more concrete. Anyway, I wanted the GW stuff, and I'm on tender hooks at the moment as to whether or not that conversation is going to keep continuing. I was like desperate, like sending a couple of emails to them, my account manager, all got rejected. Okay, I submitted a ticket through their retail portal. I've emailed their generic retail email address, and then I also even nudged him on LinkedIn, right? I mean, I felt a bit weird at first, but then again, LinkedIn is for B2B stuff, so maybe we'll see. If nothing comes of that, then I'll have to probably email higher up. I do have another contact, but anyway, we'll see how it goes. Fingers crossed, touch wood. We get a call back today, and it's just his inbox was full. That's about GW. So yeah, other than that, yesterday I was just chipping away. I was doing some sculpting, managed to sculpt a new miniature, which was fun, alongside people coming in and I sometimes think I chat too much, and already this video is probably a bit too long. I've probably chatted a bit too much anyway. But people were chatting as well, and it's really fun actually learning what people are making and what they do, and what they recommend. And I think I got some solid advice yesterday, and we'll just keep going. And what was nice yesterday as well is like on day one, it was a lot of like my own miniatures that sold, which I was super stoked about. And by then day two, it was like some army paint stuff sold, some Warhammer sold, some colourful stuff sold. So there was a good like it spread a bit more of a gamut as opposed to just being a selected range, which was encouraging as well. So fingers crossed today, we get some customers well, and we get some people through the door, and hopefully it just continues that way. Be interesting to see what this weekend's like. I'm only working Saturday because that's the only day we're allowed in this arcade. It's closed on a Sunday. On a Sunday, I kind of want to go to the UK Games Expo. I'm not sure whether or not I'll be able to make it yet, but we'll see. But I'm intrigued to see what Friday and Saturday are going to be like. But I'm wondering whether or not the UK Games Expo stuff, like a lot of people might go there. I did quiz a couple of people yesterday as to whether or not they're going, and nobody seemed. Some people didn't even realise there was a thing. But okay, fair enough. So anyway, that could be something to look forward to. And today, I might do some painting today. just to mix it up a little bit and go from there. And I'm not sure whether or not this style of you know, just talking head about the store, bit of insight behind the scenes is actually worth it. You tell me if there's anything you would like to see. Obviously, there's some things I'm under NDAs or, you know, some sort of like contract or agreement where I can't, you know, I'm not going to be showing you trade prices or anything, any of that gubbins. But you know, I can speak to what it's like for a new starter anyway, and a person new to this hobby store business thing. What it's like, you know, dealing with distributors or trade partners, or you know what the stock's like that comes in. Is there any standout highlights and stuff like that? And you guys can help me with that. So if there's anything that you can think of, then let me know. But anyway, you know, this has been the first couple of days of the store being open. Now, I'm not going to do a walk around for day 2 or anything silly like that. You've seen the store; it's very small. You know, I could literally rotate it 360, and you know, you see every facet of it. So if you know you want to support and you want to get something in return, then you can always, like, you know, go on Patreon. There's loads of STLs available on there. You can support us through my manufacturing. Ultimately, you can support us in store or online at www.Epics'N'Stuffs.com. There, you know, if you buy something, we send it out to you, and you actually get something physical in return, whether it be paints, Warhammer stuff, or anything in between. So yeah, I'll leave it there. Thanks again for watching. See you again soon. Take care for now. Bye bye.